Welcome to Can Angels Fly? I'm Nancy, and today I'm here to address the poor bastards here in this realm. Are you a poor bastard? Well, let me define what I mean. God, universe, the all, he made a covenant, or it made a covenant with man. I have a video about it here on YouTube. You might be interested in locating that particular video and watching me dive into that particular box. But in short, it talks about how he gave this globe or this flat earth, whatever you are into, to man. Gave us dominion over it. Gave us the deed to it. In another video, I'll talk about how we've been bamboozled out of our inheritance. You poor bastard. What does that mean? Well, most of humanity is a bastard, in the bastard state, because they have lost, or we have lost, our connection with the divine, our understanding of our relationship with the divine, have lost our understanding or awareness of the contract or the covenant that we are in with the divine that has granted us the deed to this flat earth, round earth, whatever you're into. You poor bastard. You're separated from your creator. Now, why might you be a poor bastard? You can be any kind of bastard, but why are you a poor bastard? Not you, somebody, in this case, somebody in humanity. Because the terms and conditions were written out in that covenant, in that contract God has with man, in which it, God, universe, the all, tells us what is included in our inheritance. Again, we've lost our connection with the all. We have no idea what those terms and conditions are. We don't know what has been already granted to us. We don't even know what we've been bamboozled out of. What we've been bamboozled out of is life-sustaining materials and resources. Let's talk about a few of the just a few of the life-sustaining resources on this planet. What about all the food, all the vegetables and the fruits and all the fish in the waters and et cetera, et cetera? What about, the natural resources? And people get sick. And have you ever thought about God making provisions to keep the body functioning in the highest of integrity for the time that it's meant to be here? That is a part of the natural resources, the minerals in the earth, gems and semi-gems, gems and metals and precious metals and semi-precious metals did you know, healing properties to them? That's where they get their value from, because they have the capacity to heal you, to heal me, to heal us. Just like the wood from a tree can build a house or set a fire to keep you warm, safely warm, or the waters themselves. You remember, or did you know, once they could or would naturally filter themselves over the rocks and the sands and the waters, they were clean to drink from. Did you know that you are a part of this earth? And our earth is a self-contained ecosystem, is what I'm trying to get you to see. And you are a part of that ecosystem. You fit here. You fit into here. Once you took on a physical body and were planted here, came into this realm through your mother's womb, you became a part of this self-contained ecosystem. It was originally a paradise that contained all that you needed to live for an appointed time in the heights of integrity. But we no longer know that. We no longer understand what wealth is. That's why we are considered poor. Wealth is not you going to work for a business, corporation, whatever, for 40, 50, 60 hours a week, working to actually, guess what? Most of the time you are harvesting the natural resources that some of what I just spoke of to give over to them. Or you're negotiating the distribution of those same natural resources that you gave over to them. And what they do in turn is give you some paper. Right there. Some paper that's printed and stamped that says, "In God we trust." It's green usually. It really has no value. Not at all. Your work is what's valuable. That which you're working to excavate is what's valuable. Those natural resources, those life-sustaining materials, whatever it is, whether it's metals, whether it's gems, whether it's the food supply, whether it's the water, all these, the plant life, that's wealth. Because those things sustain you and your life and your health. I know you've heard your health is your wealth. We are poor because we no longer know that. We are poor because we go to work 30, 40, 50, 60 hours, excavate those very things or distribute them or whatever the case is, refine them, whatever. And we give them over to a set group of people that know what wealth is. Therefore, we're making ourselves poor. You don't even get to own the land that your house is on. You pay for the house and you left for property taxes for the rest of your life. Poor, You work yourself half to death, get sick. You need to go to the doctor. They perform surgeries, give you medicine with the stuff that you went out there and excavated and gave over to them, or you refined or you distributed. You're poor, Think about it. Through God's covenant with man, He gave you dominion. He gave you the deed to this earth. He didn't give it to just one person or one collection of people. He gave it to us all. We've been bamboozled, which has led us to a state of poverty, not only in the physical, but spiritual. We are totally detached from from God, from the universe. Let's talk about one thing in particular. You need a shelter. Well, we know you can go out here, cut a tree, build a house, but not under the current construct. You should be able to go out, again, cut a tree, build your house up on a piece of land where you don't have to pay residual property tax. And you build that land up, and you harvest what's in the area as needed, as necessary. But that's not how we do things. No. Instead, we go to work 40, 50, 60 hours to excavate the natural resources, hand them over to a select group, or we go refine or distribute those very things for the benefit of a select group. We're not benefiting. We're poor. We're staying in a residual cycle of that creates poverty for us. Again, we are so busy. What do they call it? The rat race, being on a hamster's wheel, doing the same thing, when you're not leaving your offspring no lineage or anything like that, nothing of really considerable wealth. You never own your property. Why? Because you've been bamboozled by, guess what? The higher ups, those that really understand what wealth is. Wealth is not in money. Wealth is in the natural resources that sustain this physical body so that you can build from the natural resources, take your portion and make it happen. To understand that, to move forward in that way, understanding that you have an allotted amount that you can use while in this world. Not only you, the next man, and the next person, and the next family also have an allotted amount. We supposed to be able to have at it. Turn up like rich people. You know how they turn up? Yeah, we supposed to be able to turn up. But we've been bamboozled. We need to really rethink. How is it going to be here in another 50 years? Many people are struggling to pay their bills. Many people are falling ill. When they die, they're not leaving the family anything to build upon. Why can't they leave the family anything to build upon? Because them themselves really have nothing. All they've been doing is working and working and working and handing it over to an elite group. We are currently under the energy of being able to renegotiate our contract here in this world. We can renegotiate it so that we don't have to be poor bastards anymore. Because what we are learning is what real wealth is, and we will no longer be taken advantage of. Anyway, thank you for coming to Can Angels Fly. Until next time, bye.